Good evening. It's March 9th. It's a Sunday. And this is your host, Bob Pace, to talk to you about fighting CPS and stop taking our children. Yes, you heard me right. Fight CPS. Now, this is a live stream that comes on twice a day, every day. It comes on from 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time, and again at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the West Coast of California. Now I do 14 podcasts a week every single day. There's no holidays. I've been doing this now for 17 months, started in October of 2023. And I know that this right now going through your mind is a horrible, horrible experience. I've been there. I know that. I too was caught up in CPS. Now, what I define CPS, and you may have other definitions or other feelings on the matter, but Congress mandated that the that social services would look out for our children. It's been for over 200 years since our country was started. Children have been abused and neglected. And over this time, there's been a lot of attempts by various groups to protect our children. The current group is social services. As mandated by Congress, they started a CPS government entity. Now, what I call CPS is Child Protection System, because every state has counties, and every county has a child protection system in every state. But they all have different names. So it's really hard when you talk about one, there's another. I know in LA County, it's the Department of Children and Family Services. In Orange County, it's the Child Protection Services. But when you go to Arizona, at Prescott, Arizona, it's Department of Children's Services. If you go to Richmond, Kentucky, it's the Cabinet. So there's so many, so I just made it simple. I call it CPS. And most people do. Most people do. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible agency. And I certainly would not want to be saddled again with them. I too had a CPS case. It started in 2010 for me. Shortly after I lost a job that I've been working for 45 years back then, and I lost a job through no fault of my own. And one thing that has common with me and the over 1,000 people that have called in or texted in is low income. When you lose a job, your income, in my case, was cut to Zippo. All I had was my savings, but it would go down. And I had to sell my home in 7 years. I lasted that long paying everything for 17 years. I think I lasted, or wait a second here. I got my math all messed up here. 2010 to 2015 is 5, and 2 more years, 6. For 7 years, I was able to keep afloat with a very expensive mortgage. But I also had trouble with CPS that cumulative after 5 years resulted at 2015 for 3 of my 6 children being stolen, being put into traffic, being trafficked into foster care. They weren't in danger, and they're certainly not in danger of mom and dad. But I did not know that there's a lot of corrupt CPS agencies. These are agencies that enjoy the dollar more than do helping out family or do reunification. It's sad to say that there are a lot of bad or rogue CPS entities. It's really hard. Now, I want to share what I went through. It was a terrible, terrible experience for me. It was a nightmare. I don't know how else to explain it to you. I'm trying to line up my page here and it's having a hard time. Um, okay. Now, every night and every day, I talk to a group of really beautiful parents. I call them my family. They're regulars that come into this live stream to talk about their CPS case and to help others. You found me on Facebook, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. Now, I'm broadcasting on YouTube, and I use the StreamYard application. Now, there's several ways that you can interact with this live stream. One way is just come into this room and listening, taking notes. You can also send emojis, your feelings, hearts, thumbs up, smiley faces, those kinds of things. Also, you can send stars to support this podcast. Further, I would like you to follow me by checking the follow button. And if you want to be notified when I'm on, check the notification. Now, if you want to do something more than just listen or take notes, I really like to receive messages. Text me a message about your case, questions about your CPS case, or maybe make a comment about CPS. We're in here to talk about CPS. I know there's a lot of life skills out there, and I have a wealth of life skills. CPS is one of them that you should start having information when you're in high school about CPS. Because it really affects teenage children a lot. Also, you may be married early on, and that's something you should know about. And especially when you go to college, you should know about CPS. There's marriage and there's divorce and there's child protection system. Those go hand in hand. And I like to share with what I learned and also some rules I come up with. Some very important rules. And these rules, I wish I had known at the time my case got started. I would never have lost one of my 3 children that was tragically trafficked into foster care. That's right. I lost a child due to CPS doing revenge. These CPS workers are bad. If you don't know what they are, all you have to do is go to the 2022 and look up the Pink Ladies in Prescott, Arizona. These 8 ladies were social workers. They've been doing it for a long time and they worked in Prescott. There was also a director and one other person. So there's 10 people that were protecting children from neglect and abuse and doing investigations. Well, what 8 of these ladies decided to do was to buy pink t-shirts. Now, pink is not a bad color because that is breast awareness. But these ladies weren't talking about breast awareness. These ladies on the front of their pink t-shirt had stenciled professional child kidnappers. And on the back, they said, "Parents, you know where your children are at." And then they paraded all over Prescott in the big department stores: Costco, Walmart, Kmart, Sam's, Best Buys, Target, Sears, J.C. Penney's, Target. I mean, any store that had a lot of people in there, they paraded around. So as you saw them, they very proudly put on their chest professional child kidnappers. And on the back, as you walked by them, you saw them. Do you know where your children are at? What kind of message were they sending to parents? That is wrong. And they were fired, by the way. All 8 social workers and the Child Protection System director, the DCS director, all were fired. That left one individual who didn't participate holding down the fort to help out thousands of investigations and to handle the whole department. Not only did it hurt the parents, but it hurt the credibility of the program, and then it hurt not having the manpower to enforce the protection of our children from neglect and abuse. And I want to say something about neglect and abuse. Neglect is when you do not have supervision for your children, you don't send them to school, you don't bathe them, you don't provide clothing, you don't feed them. That is all a form of neglect. Now, abuse is when they're physically hurt by a parent, when they're slammed against the wall, or if the young infant, the head is shaken so much that the brain suffers irreparable damage. Or they use wooden sticks or ropes or wires to discipline the kids. They use excessive corporate punishment and objects that do hurt the kids and create welts and stuff. So that is physical abuse and neglect I've already described. Now, with that said, they get a report from a mandated reporter, which is usually a professional, because part of their job they have to report neglect or abuse, and they go take special classes in how to notice when there's abuse and neglect. So they have to deal with that. Those people are right about 75% of the time, but they do make mistakes. Now, the other group of people are your lay people, the people that are your everyday friends, family members, your sisters, your brothers, people that don't have a job involving children. The people involved children are like your teachers, nurses, doctors, police, firemen, etc. Anybody that works with children. Now, it's hard to phantom that, but those are the definitions, and that's what CPS is doing it. But they're not allegations. When they call in from a layperson, and by the way, 50% of the time they're wrong, are called in by a professional person, a mandatory reporting person, you are guilty in what they say without a court, without an order from the judge. Right away, the child protection system thinks you're guilty. And that is sad because you may not be guilty. You should be innocent till you're proven guilty. But you start out in court as being guilty. They have a court, it's called dependency court. It deals with juveniles and family. So you need somebody qualified and trained in juvenile law, family law, and dependency law who has fought CPS. That's the ideal attorney. And I say attorney because you have to have an attorney, because it'd be your death if you do not get an attorney. Attorney is the one that went to school and learned all about law, and especially law. This is especially law. A person that graduated just criminal law will not be able to handle CPS. So you need an attorney because it's just like doing open heart surgery. Would you cut open the chest yourself or have your neighbor open your chest or someone else that's not a doctor and work on your heart? Well, that's the same analogy. Fighting CPS is just as bad as open heart surgery. So, you have to be careful when you're dealing with CPS. Now, on the screen, I have the way where you can text comments or questions. All I ask from you is your first name and the city or county you're from, and the state or country, because this is a worldwide live stream. Anybody that has internet can see this live stream. And we do like to talk to people with CPS problems around the world. And I've had so far 21 countries. I've had Indonesia, Bangladesh, then I've had the country of India, and then up to Middle East, I've had Libya, and then also Saudi Arabia. Then down to Africa, I've had Liberia, and then Rwanda and Sudan. So I encourage you to text in because that way I can answer your question. That way, your question. Another way that you can interact in this room is to be a guest. Now, I have a show producer. She's off on Sundays, but her name is Grace, and she does a lot of work for the live stream, and I want to thank her. Now, you will contact her with her email. Now, it's up there on the screen, and her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. You just say, hey, I want to be in Bob's Monday show in the morning, or I want to be on Bob's Wednesday evening show. I want to be on Bob's Sunday morning show. Should be prepared. Now, once she receives your email, she will send an email back with the link that she has for you to use. Now, that link doesn't expire till after the show's done. So if you fall off, use the same link to get on again. She'll also go through the ground rules of what to say and what not to say and help you adjust your video or your audio. She's really thorough about that. Now, besides being a guest, the last way I have is to call me. Now, my number's up there. It's live. That means you can talk to me during my live stream into 5 minutes to the show time's over. Tonight, it's over at 8 o'clock. So at 7:55, I turn off the phone number. But I'd like you to call in, and that's 626-698-0990. Now, you can call in, and I will put you on speakerphone, and you can talk about your case and to help other people. So I'm going to leave that number on the screen there. Now, hello, call unplugged. Hi, you are Amanda from St. Louis. And I always get you confused with Margaret from St. Louis. I know that. And so I'm glad to see you back, Amanda, and welcome. Welcome to my live stream. You're part of our family. And I hope you have something share the new to talk to us about. I love to hear something new. Good evening. Who do I have the pleasure of talking to?
Miss Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I am fine.
Now, I just had another person call me. They dropped off, and I couldn't answer them. So let me text them a message here. But I'm glad to talk to you again, Amanda.
Yes, me too. Found out some interesting stuff. I found a letter yesterday. Um, and basically it was like a child support letter. I typed in the case number, and at the top of it reads that I'm the custodial parent, and the non-custodial is the one that's paying. I haven't received any. That money is going to the lady that has my children.
Okay, that's interesting. I'm glad you called me in about that. Hold on one second here. Um, okay, now I have to find out. Oh boy.
How are you doing today?
Oh, I've had a long day. I did some phone calling, some potential new clients, and it for 2 hours, and it can be very time consuming. Okay.
Did you want me to continue talking about what I found out new?
Yeah, I am. I'm just texting back to the person that called me. I apologize.
I went through all the section numbers in the paperwork, and it's a lot of illegal stuff that's going on. I guess the uniform code thingy is some type of protection of the so-called incompetent person. I guess I'm not supposed to see it because I'm not incompetent, and it also deals with the competent person having strong ties to a certain judicial part of the city.
Can you give me some codes there, Amanda? Do you have any codes or sections I can look up?
Yes, we have. I know one was 475. 475.035 1 and 2.
Okay, 475.
Dot 035.1.
Okay, that's 47.035.1, and that is where in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yes.
I'm trying to put that in the format. St. Louis, Missouri, and then I put CPS, and then that dot, and we'll see what happens. Okay, it's called Revised Statute of Missouri. And this venue is for the appointment of a guardian or conservatory shall be in the county in the state where the minor or alleges the incapacitated or disabled. Is that what you're doing? Is guardianship?
Huh?
Are you doing guardianship?
No, that's how she gained guardianship to gain my grandfather's assets that he left for me. I'm not exactly sure how she obtained all this, but all the dates match up to her overpayment and how fast everything went with the case.
Hold on. It's so hard with these people that.
And then there's another one, 475.050, and then like quotation with the number 2, RSMO.
Okay. Well, here's some questions that people ask, and see if this is one of the questions you have. What is the difference between guardianship and conservatory? Is that what you're dealing with? Or how?
Yes, but it's through probate.
Well, here's the guardian statute in Missouri. The guardian of the person of a minor shall be entitled to the custody and control of the ward, and shall provide for the ward's education, support, and maintenance. Our guardian or limited guardian of an incapacitated person shall act in the best. Is this person you're trying to get guardianship? Are they incapacitated?
That's what she listed me as on the paperwork.
Well, you don't sound like you're incapacitated. Now, this
I know.
paperwork came to your mail addressed to you?
No, my cousin, she's a lawyer, and there was too much stuff going on in the case that I wasn't seeing. And she sent me the stuff, and that's how I found out that I was listed incompetent. Look, and it's wild. She has the protection order on me.
Your cousin is not friendly, and she's an attorney?
She's an attorney, and she was the one that pulled the file and let me know what was going on.
Okay. Are you the contesting party then? Are you the one that is fighting the guardianship case?
Yep.
Well, then you need to file a motion and write this down, detailing their objection with the probate court in the ward's jurisdiction. The motion can request that the guardianship end and be changed or be limited. A ward under guardianship can also file a motion. They can request legal representation. Now, you have a suspect of abuse or neglect?
Yes.
Okay, here's how to fight if you suspect abuse or neglect. What rights do you lose under guardianship? People under guardianship cannot make their own choices about where they live, where they work, what kind of medical care to give, or whether they'll get any medical care, where they eat, and who they spend time with, whether they'll get married. So that's what guardianship people lose. Now, can a legal guardian deny visitations in Missouri? The guardian right to restrict visitation contact with adults. If there is a guardian over an adult, the guardian does have the ability to restrict other people contact with a protective person. So this person has guardian, and they're objecting you have visitation?
Basically, it is, there was another code that I put down that's on my paperwork. It's 475.070.
Hold on. Let me look that up. Okay, let me go ahead and St. Louis, Louis, Missouri, CPS. Okay, what's the new code?
It's 475.070. RSMO.
RS, what again?
RSMO.
M like in Mary?
Yeah, and that's her name literally.
Okay. Here's the revised statute of Missouri, RSMO, section 475.070. It's the notice of petition for appointment of a guardian or conservatory for a minor. Is this person a minor? Are they under the age of 18?
Yes.
Okay. So what about this notice for petition? That means you're given notice that someone is appointing the guardianship. Are they appointing you or are they appointing themselves?
They're appointing themselves.
Now, what RSMO stands for is Revised Statute of Missouri.
Okay, I don't know how this lady did it, but there's another code. I think it's like 211 010. But somehow this lady has tapped into my grandfather's his estate. And
when you say this lady, are you talking about your cousin who's the attorney?
No, the lady that has my children.
Okay,
behind my back.
you have biological children that were taken from you.
Yes.
Okay, and they were placed with who were they placed with?
This is their big cousin off their father's side of the family. And this lady, she has a life.
Slow down. Okay. You said something about somebody's side of the family. What side of the family?
My kid, the lady that has them.
What relationship is the lady that has them to you?
She's no relation to me. She's no family, but she's family to my children off their dad's side.
Well, don't. No, okay. Was she? I'm confused because you're sitting there saying, if she's family, then there is a relationship to you. You could be a distant cousin, a distant aunt.
No, she has no ties to me. We are not even blood related.
So how did she get hold of children? Is she a foster care parent? Okay, so let's not talk about her. She's a foster care parent that the children were given to by CPS because you're alleged. What did they get you for neglect or abuse or both?
For so-called neglect.
All right, and what were you neglecting your children?
I never did. It was a retaliation from my kid's father.
Okay, it's a retaliation. I'm not saying whatever is true or not. So your father made the story up, and the CPS came investigated. They took your children and they put them with a foster care family. Is that correct?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, this foster care family, are they trying to end your rights as the parent, terminate your parental rights, and adopt the children? Is that what they're trying to do?
I'm not exactly sure. I'm very lost, and it's crazy that I can't really give you a lot of information. But I typed in a piece of paper last night. I found a letter from Social Security, and I typed in the number. It was for child support. At the top of it, it says that I am basically. It says Amanda Shannon at the top, custodial parent, and then at the bottom it says now custodial, the father's name, and it's saying the payment that I'm supposed to be receiving, and I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, let me tell you about Social Security and social services and CPS. They all are government entities. Social Security and social service have nothing to do with each other. But CPS and social services do, because Congress mandated that the social service would create a body of social workers to protect our children from neglect and abuse. So someone has made a report that you neglected your children or you abused your children. And so what CPS is doing, they're doing an investigation. You're guilty until you're proven innocent. And when you are accused, that is your warning sign, your sign to get an attorney, whether you use the court-appointed attorney or get your own. Now, there's pros and cons with both attorneys. The court-appointed attorney is only trained in criminal law. They're not trained in juvenile law, family law, or dependency law. Also, the court-appointed attorney has a caseload of 30 more clients, so they don't have time to talk to you outside of court. And lastly, they're controlled by CPS, so they're not going to fight for you or protect your interests. So that's why you need to get an attorney. Now, you're being wrongfully accused because you said you did not neglect them. What actually did happen?
No.
Okay.
I wish I could read this out. Because I typed up my petition.
It's okay. Don't feel bad. I know it's really hard to describe it. and I'm stabbing in the dark guessing what it is. You have a CPS case against you. You were charged with neglect, but you say neglect is not true. It's a bogus charge. During this time, they've taken the children because you either gave the children or they had a court warrant ordering the children turned over to them. Was it a court warrant or did you freely give the children away?
I never did that. I never did it.
Well, how did the children get taken from you?
My kid's father. It's a long. Is it possible if I can read out like the petition that I?
Sure.
Okay. I don't like reading out loud, so I'm gonna have it. Just. I took all the case numbers and put everything. Had it generated. But I think I did pretty good.
Okay.
Due to the fact that. Okay. This is not me speaking, but it's going to read it out.
1 second, Amanda. Adori Lush. I'm glad to see you there, Adori Lush. And you say you need help. Can you help me by describing where your case is? Geez. There, I'm back again. Lori, can you give me, I got your name, but can you give me where you're from, Adori Lush, and I can try to help you. Okay, go on, Amanda. Go ahead.
Okay, give me 1 second. Now it wants to, act like it doesn't want to do it. Okay, it's right here. This is what I put all together. Just let me know if this sounds right. This is my petition.
Okay.
Petition consideration of guardianship and state management and request for compensation. Comes now Amanda Shannon and petitions this honorable court to reconsider the guardianship and the state management of the minor children. Miller. I'm turning it down because it's my kid's name. For pain and suffering due to the loss of custody. In support of this petition, Amanda Shannon respectfully presents the following legal concerns and findings. Improper venue and jurisdiction. It has come to my attention that the original guardianship petition was filed and subsequently transferred within the city of St. Louis, while the minors, Carell Kevin Miller and Sean Carmelo Miller, were domiciled in St. Louis County. According to Section 475.035 or RSMO, the proper venue for guardianship proceedings is the county in which the minor resides. The initial filing and the incorrect venue constitutes substantial procedural error, as the proper jurisdiction should be based on the domicile of the minor. Consequently, any rulings made by this court prior to and following the transfer may lack validity due to the improper venue. Lack of notification. Furthermore, I was not notified of the guardianship proceeding. The failure to properly notify an interested party represents a violation of due process rights under Section 475.050, 2 RSMO, and Section 211.031 RSMO. All interested parties must be provided with adequate notice and the opportunity to participate in the proceeding. The lack of notification invalidates the court's decisions, as it infringes upon my legal right to be heard and to contest any finding or appointments made without my knowledge. Procedural discrepancies and date inconsistencies. The affidavit filed on August 25th, 2020, contains discrepancies regarding date and procedural steps. For instance, the case was transferred to the Family Court, Juvenile Division on August 25th, 2020, but subsequent notices and hearings were scheduled without proper notification to all parties. The notice of hearing filed on December 3rd, 2020, is an example of a critical date that did not provide sufficient time for proper notification and participation of all interested parties. Specifically, the guardianship hearing was scheduled for December 3rd, 2020, with significant entries on November 9th, 2020, and affidavits filed on November 5th, 2020. These entries reflect procedural discrepancies that undermine the integrity of the proceeding. Additionally, various docket entries in the case reflect inconsistencies. On December 7th, 2020, a proposed amended order was filed by the parent and legal people on behalf of the parent. The same date also includes a motion to amend Order Non Pro Tunc and an amended Order
guardianship were mailed and a guardianship hearing was held, scheduled for the same date. This is associated with the November 9th, 2020 entry scheduling the hearing and the November 5th, 2020 affidavits, indicating a rushed procedural timeline, parental unfitness, and estate management. Concerns have also arisen regarding the declaration of parental unfitness and its implications for the management of the minor's estate. The declaration that both found unfit, unable, or unwilling to care for the minors raises significant questions about the legal procedures and evidence used to arrive at such determination. Additionally, this declaration directly impacts the management of the minor's estate, which must be handled with utmost fairness and legal propriety, as outlined in Section 475.07 RSMO. Hashtag legal and financial issues involving Mary Burr. It has come to my attention that Mary Burr, the appointed guardian, has ongoing legal issues. According to case number 2322 TJ09635, titled DESBPC versus Mary Burr. At case, Mary Burr is involved in a legal matter with the petitioner DESBPC. This is further corroborated by the Certificate of Assessment of Overpaid Benefits issued by the Division of Employment Security, State of Missouri, certifying that Mary Burr owes a debt of $2,485 for overpaid benefits. This raises concerns about her suitability and integrity as a guardian for the minors. Given Mary Burr's financial difficulties and involvement in potentially fraudulent activity to obtain benefits, there is a significant conflict of interest that may suggest she is seeking guardianship to access financial benefits related to the children or their estate. This situation necessitates a thorough review and reconsideration of her suitability as a guardian. I also request that Mary Burr be evaluated to determine her fitness for the role, given these legal and financial issues, personal hardships, and emotional distress. The improper handling of this case has caused me immense emotional distress and pain. I have been unjustly separated from my children, which has taken a severe toll on my mental and emotional well-being. Additionally, during this period, I have experienced the loss of my grandfather and the tragic suicide of my sister. These personal hardships have compounded the emotional suffering I have endured due to the guardianship case, academic and professional impact. Despite the unjust declaration of incompetence, I am a dedicated college student at the Los Angeles Film School, set to graduate on February 26, 2026, with the Bachelor of Science degree in Media Communication. This unjust declaration has not only slandered my character, but has also impacted my future business endeavors and career prospects. Request for compensation. In addition to the legal and procedural concerns mentioned above, I have suffered significant emotional distress and pain due to the loss of custody of my children and the false accusations made against me. The improper handling of this case has caused undue hardship and suffering. As such, I respectfully request compensation for pain and suffering, as well as for the slander to my character and name, which has affected my business and career aspirations. Conclusion. In light of these significant procedural errors, due process violations, concerns regarding the handling of the minor's estate, the legal and financial issues involving Mary Burr, and the personal hardships I have endured, I respectfully request that this honorable court, 1, conduct a thorough review of the initial venue and jurisdiction of this case to determine its appropriateness and compliance with Missouri law. 2, invalidate any decisions made under the incorrect venue, ensuring that all rulings are legally sound and just. 3, ensure that all interested parties, including myself, are properly notified and granted the opportunity to participate in the proceedings moving forward. 4, reconsider the guardianship.
Okay, that's what I came up with. Are you still there?
Yes, I am. You read it. I mean, the person that spoke to your behalf. Are you doing the appeal? Did that get prepared by an attorney?
Oh, no, I took all the case numbers and
No.
I put it into...
All that language you came up with.
Yes, it generated everything. I just spoke it into the computer on what I wanted it to say, and then I re-edited it.
Wow. I'm pretty impressive that the computer can do that. That was pretty impressive. Now, you went to go there, so have they heard this case with that appeal?
No, not yet, because I'm not done with it yet, because there's so much stuff that has to
Did you file it?
No, not yet.
Okay, so you're still at the beginning. The beginning.
This was like last week. I think my case is a little bit deeper than what I thought it was.
Well, it sounds pretty impressive if that's what you're doing. I would still want you to look up an attorney that could help you.
Oh, I actually I took your advice. Called a bunch of lawyers, private detectives, and the pro bono. The one guy, he called me I think a week ago, and he basically listened to my story, and he pulled the case number, and he said he could not help me due to the fact of the conflict of interest, and that this case. I asked him why, and he said because this case is dealing with fraud. And he referred me to somebody else.
Why does he have a conflict of interest? How is he involved with the case?
So is that what that means?
Well, a conflict of interest means that he's somehow connected with the case. Is he the opposing attorney?
No. I don't know if he's possibly worked with.
Does he work in the same law firm that the attorney prepared that?
I'm not exactly sure.
Hmm.
And the person that he referred me to, he called and he took the case number down. He wrote it. He looked it up and he said that he can't do it due to the fact that it's a conflict of interest. And I asked him why. He said because somebody on the law firm has worked, has been a representation to her, and that nobody will possibly be able to help me with the case because of the connection that this lady has.
Okay. Just 1 second here. 10.
Oh, and I also called Social Security because every time I try and log in, it flags me and it says due to the traffic of your searches, you have to call this number. I called the number last Friday. The lady, she was pretty rude after she found out. I don't know what she typed up, but she got to say, hold on, my computer is running slow. And I heard her typing, so her computer wasn't running that slow, and she was whispering. But she came back on. She came back on the phone, and she basically said she asked me for my Social Security. Then she asked me for the to identify who she's talking to. There were several questions that I had already set up in Social Security online a long time ago. Somebody switched my mother's maiden name. She would not. She said that she cannot give me any type of information due to the fact that it does not match her system's records and what was I so-called put down. Somebody switched my info. So I have an appointment with Social Security on the 17th. But I honestly don't think that I want to go down there because I honestly think that they are. Like, the way that the situation is going is like every time I call and I talk about my case, it's like somebody knows something, and they keep giving me the ring around the rosy. So I'm not sure if I want to go down there, but I'm still gonna go down there. But I just feel that they're not gonna give me what I'm asking for.
Okay.
Because everybody is together.
Yeah, well, this is something. Now, why can't you seek an attorney? Why can't you seek an attorney?
Why can't I seek an attorney? No attorney wants to handle the case.
Really?
I honestly feel that they're getting like some type of alert whenever I call for information, not to give it to me.
Okay.
Because I went down to the probate court clerk and she said she could not give me any type of information, but she basically said you need to seek a lawyer.
Yeah, this is something that you need someone with a lot of background on this one here.
So
Since you've called tonight, here's the solution, Amanda. Have you talked to Vincent Davis yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What did he say when you talked to him about this?
He said that I need to get a private attorney.
Okay.
Investigator.
Oh, boy.
And the private investigator said that he cannot handle the case either due to conflict of interest.
Now, how did you talk to Vincent Davis? Was it on Zoom?
No, I actually called. I had called him on Superphone because he had left me a message, and he returned the call the next day, and we talked, and he basically said that I need to seek a lawyer, private attorney.
Did he offer to help you out with a lawyer?
He basically told me to call him back after I find the findings and everything that I need because I was unsure, and it's hard to talk. It's hard to talk about this case because I was blindsided and I don't really know what's going on.
Now, are you recording everything? Are you recording everything that's taken place?
Not now, but yeah. When I do talk to the people that give me information, but I'm not recording right now.
Right. No, I knew that. I just have a couple of the people in the room. I have A1 who said record. I don't know if she's referring to somebody else. And then Cruel just called in or just texted in. She's late because she's after you. Right now it's 8:00 and I'm going to have to curtail this. Doesn't mean I can't talk to you tomorrow, Amanda. Does not mean you can talk tomorrow. But what you need to do is you really need to point out to Vince Davidson that no one will take your case. Now, with Case State, you know, his retainer is running from 5,000 in LA County to over 14,000. But I know out of state he's more, but you can go ahead and quote you.
Not to cut you off, there's a section number on the paperwork where the lady has looked me up on several different. She figured out who my family members were, and basically she knows that I have a bunch of family members that are lawyers. So it's a request to have it. I can't have any type of. She requested that I don't have anybody from my family with ties to the legal system to intervene to what she's doing and what she's feeling. So basically, I can't have a request for a lawyer out of state.
I don't know about that. Now, are you still going to Social Security with your appointment?
Yeah.
Now, when you go to Social Security, you should video it discreetly.
Okay,
I have someone, A1, that's trying to help, and she says that you should record everything and we should go to Social Security.
Because this lady, she has stolen my...
Well, no one can tell you who you can pick. No one can tell you that. If a family member, no, there's no conflict. That's something for the judge to decide. If there's a conflict of interest, the judge will decide if there is a conflict of interest.
The judge that handled the case, my cousin worked on his law firm, so it became a conflict of interest when she transferred because I have connections to a family member that worked on his law firm, his firm. So that's why she transferred it to the county to basically. It's a deep story. Like it is so long. Like I'm still confused because I was sidelined by everything.
Yeah, let me do this. We need to continue this. Can you call me tomorrow morning or tomorrow night?
On here?
Yeah, on my live stream.
Yes. I should have more information tomorrow.
Yes, I'd like to talk to you further on this, and I just don't want to cut you short. I am really late. I have to go. Okay?
I'm so sorry, but thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, Amanda, for calling in and being a part of this family for a long time. I have a new person named A1. I have no idea where you're from, A1, but it'd be nice if you tell me that. What time tomorrow? It's at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. It's also tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you could call me A1 too, that'd be nice. Cruel, I can't talk to you tonight, but maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow night. And Dory Lush, I never did find out where you're from, but if you could call again tomorrow too. Or, listen
I get
to
very
the.
nervous because people are like literally.
Well, people are here trying to help you. And what you said so far, it sounds great what you put together. But anyway, I got to say goodnight to everybody. Hi, Margaret. You're late. Margaret just came on. She says, if it's a conflict of interest, you need to find out another attorney. Well, true. We're trying to find that. But A1 says, okay, you'll be here. Good, A1. Feeling with a case in Oklahoma concerning my grandson, but I'm in Illinois, truly trying to block a kinship placement.
That's what it is. The kinship placement. That my family is not allowed to it's some uniform law code. UUJ. It's something in the state of Missouri, and she has ties to the court.
I'll look up a kinship. Let me do that on my time here, but I got to end. So I want to thank you, Amanda, for calling in. I want to thank A1 from wherever you are for calling in. Cruel is from Ventura, California. Margaret's from Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri also. And I have no idea where the other person is, Dory Lush is from. And we have Call Unplug is Amanda, who right now has been talking tonight. So, yes.
Ms. A1, if you are able to reach out to me, that's definitely the truth about the federal funds, because my grandfather left a trust, and that's how she was able to obtain it in a different jurisdiction.
Well, she says they want to keep the federal funds. That's why they don't want to place the child.
Yes, and my grandfather has trust funds in the county.
Yes, it's all about money. I'm sad to say CPS is corrupt. It's all about money. It's all about money. Anyway,
I'll be on here tomorrow.
Yeah, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. And yes, A1, all about money. Anyway, good night, you all. Thank you very much for calling tonight. And God bless you. And keep fighting for your kids. This is Bob Pace signing off.